Good morning.
Good morning, good morning. It's Linda and Elaine again from Sierra Sewing, Quilting, and Vacuums in Reno and Carson City, Nevada. And happy Wednesday to you. It is our Wednesday short and sweet. And what's new? We have quite a few new fabrics here today. A lot of new stuff. So we're just going to get right into it.
Yeah, we have a lot of great things.
And for those who were there last week, the groundhog saw his shadow.
Yeah.
So that means he stayed out because the sun was out. That's how it was explained to me. Because if he doesn't see his shadow, the sun's not out and he goes back in. I thought it was the other way, but I reread it this morning and that's what it said. Let me know if you know it differently. But he did stay out, I know that. So it's supposed to be an early spring, apparently across the entire country.
Now see, I asked my husband on Friday, I'm like, okay, I said, on Sunday. I said, okay, what happened with the groundhog? I said, because we had a little contest at work. He goes, 6 more weeks of winter. I'm like, oh, okay. I said, so now I don't really know which one it was.
I heard Putin or Punxsutawney, whatever the...
Punxsutawney Phil.
He didn't see his shadow, and the other one did. That's what I heard.
Oh, okay. Apparently there are two groundhogs, which I did not know anything about.
I did not know that either.
Today.
Okay, so who knows the answer to this?
I'm saying... He said, Punxsutawney Phil said it's an early spring, and I'm sticking to it.
That's okay.
All right.
I don't care either way. I'm going to be laid up here in a week, so I don't care.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's get going. We do have 15% off. This is what we're all about today. Everything new, you get 15% off on it right out of the gate. Anytime from right now until 9 o'clock tomorrow morning, no matter what time you watch, you can do your shopping with us. And you can go online to sierrasewing.com and go to the live sale, click on our picture, and you'll go right to the current live sale. Or it's right there on our website right now that you can go directly to. And so for every $50, oh wait, no, the shipping. The shipping, yes.
So for $100, $100 plus, you get free shipping. And just to put this out there, because I actually had a customer last week who said she didn't know this, but you can also shop our website for other products, not just the live sale products to add to your basket or your cart. To whether you're going to pick up in Carson, whether you're going to pick up in Carson or you're going to pick up in Reno or have it shipped. That can all be done that way too. So you can just click out of the live sale and then pick, in the search bar what you'd like to look at.
I never thought of that point of confusion.
So yeah, you can shop everything. It's not just the live sale. The live sale is for your 15% discount, which the price does reflect that when you look at it. But then you can also shop from the rest of our website all at the same time.
Okay, and if you have any questions or concerns while we're doing this, Jared and Carrie are both on the computers. They can answer any question that you have, but you can also call us at any time. Our phone number is right below us, and that is our Reno store, and we will be happy to help you.
And the Carson City store has their phone number down there too.
Oh, Carson City.
And they're open.
I keep forgetting that. Yes. They open at 10.
They're open, yeah. So if you missed it last week was their first day opening on Tuesday. So now they're up and running and they are ready to go, and it's been really fun. Thank you for everybody who's been coming in and checking out the new location. It's been a lot of fun. So thank you. All right, we're just going to jump right in.
So we're going to do our quilt first because we always forget it. So that's always the first thing we do.
Now that my kids are older, I don't have my eyes in the back of my head anymore. So I lost that ability.
Isn't this adorable?
It's really, really cute. It is Cherry's Jubilee. I know I've had a couple of customers who are just been waiting for me to finish kitting this. So this is now done. It's ready to go. It is the Farmstead fabric. That was part of it.
We showed that a few weeks ago.
Which we did, yes. So here is the kit that goes with it. It's adorable. It is a 52 by 52.
52, yes.
So it is a square. It is a great throw. It's a great throw across your couch.
A wall hanging for me.
Either, because it's cherries and the way that we have it with the checkerboard, I kind of thought it would be a really cute tablecloth or picnic tablecloth. Just because of the type of what it is.
I love to eat cherries. Do you love to eat cherries?
I used to, and I had a bad experience with cherries when I was a kid, so unfortunately not so much.
I prefer the white cherries to the red cherries now. I don't know why.
I do still love the chocolate dip cherry, the dried cherries dipped in chocolate. Yeah, because then I don't taste as much cherries.
Okay.
But no, it is adorable. It does have, it is half, it's boxing squares. I forget what it's called. Darn it, I just forgot the name of what it is. Snowball. Thank you. Or economy block. But yeah, the snowballs are here, and then you have your cherries. It is really adorable. So check it out. You will get 15% off if you purchase it.
And what's the
with
price
the
on it right now? It's do we
you
have
know what?
we
I don't know,
have
Carrie. Do you know the top off your head what the cost was for the kit?
As soon as I get back to it, yeah.
We'll get that.
We'll get that to you.
Yeah.
And then it does come with your binding, which is the checkerboard. So, and if you want to make it bigger, there is a ton of farmstead fabrics that if you want to put on a couple of extra borders to make it larger, or you want more fabric so you can actually have more rows, we still even have more of that fabric. So you can actually make this larger if you want to, even with buying the kit. So you're not, if you want to have a bigger one, it's always easy to do.
Yeah. Just very sweet. Very, very sweet.
And we just used beautiful backing, which was
Those tend to match these flowers.
I think that was what kind of Cherry,
Yeah.
what Carrie
Yeah,
chose.
yeah.
So that way you see everything, and it's just really pretty. I like it a lot.
All right. So
Regular price is $84.99. Sale price $72.24.
so $84.99 to
72.
So down to
$72.
$72.99 for the
Yes.
sale.
So that's your price today through 9 o'clock tomorrow morning.
There you go. So let's just jump into, since we kind of did some fruit.
No, the cherries
there
are
is
not
no applique.
appliqued. No, they
Nope.
are pieced.
It is, you'll hear the term, like some people call it snowball, some people call it economy block. It's where you have the square and you're putting smaller squares in each corner and to fold it in. So that's the type of squares that they are. So it's not time consuming, but it's really easy to put them together.
Yeah.
So if you haven't had that technique before, it's a very easy technique. The economy block snowball, it's very simple. So don't be afraid.
Yeah.
If you love it,
Yes.
buy it, go for it. It's really cute. But since we're doing cherries, we have other
Yeah.
things, but I'll go ahead and just jump right into the strawberries. So you want to grab
I'm going to grab the one
the one
that
that I thought was cute.
that Elaine's going to make an
I
apron
am.
out of. So you got to make sure you get it before she gets it.
I know,
all.
right? Because I'm going to snatch it. So here is just excuse me, I got cherries on.
Yep.
These strawberries on the cream. So they're just all tossed. And then Linda here has the words.
Trying to get them right side
I know
up.
it's going to be, it is directional, but it's so adorable.
This is the one Elaine is going to get. So if you want some, get it before she gets it all. She wants to make a cute little apron out of it.
I thought it would be cute.
It's very, very sweet. Again, the cherries and the strawberries, I mean, you don't get better than that.
Well, then we also have the leaves with the flower that makes the little strawberries, and then just the leaves. Really pretty. I mean, this would be great for even placemats. This would be adorable for a placemat. What do you think?
Yes,
Wouldn't that be cute?
Oh, that would be a really cute kitchen theme with the strawberries.
Oh, absolutely. Nice and springy. And I know we have a lot of strawberry people out there. Every time we have something in strawberries, it actually does tend to go pretty fast.
Yes, yes.
So
And stay in the kitchen-y theme. Let's go ahead
let's
and
go right
show
into our chickens.
the placemats.
Well, I've made a little
I
mess.
love these chickens.
Alrighty, so here we have a panel.
Show that one first.
Sure. So you get in a panel, you do get 4 placemats, and you see all the chickens. They're actually one of each, so they do not repeat. So you can have 4 placemats per panel. If you want more, obviously, you just buy more panels. So for every panel, let me make sure everybody understands, every panel that you buy, you're going to get 4.
4. And I think they are large enough to go ahead and make them as is, but if you want to do a little bit of a border around it,
Well,
we have others
we do. And
to go with it. Yeah,
so
the
there's
egg and
the,
I
we have
would
the
show
eggs
egg
and
and the chicken wire. The ever popular chicken wire.
chicken wire is always
And
so
eggs.
popular. So that one, it is black. I know sometimes if you can't tell, but it is a black chicken
Black
wire.
chicken wire.
And then we also have eggs. So that would be really cute for the backing. And then, of course, either one of them, even for the border, if you do want to make them a little bit larger. There's a couple of more. That one doesn't go.
It actually,
Does that one
with
go?
it? Yeah, it does match the brown and the
it
chicken.
does. Oh my gosh, I
Yes.
thought that was
You wanna
something
hold that
different.
one up?
My bad.
No.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, yeah. The brown came in with it.
Here we go.
It's a blender, but it goes really well with the chickens, and also the red.
Well,
I've got
and
the red and gray.
what's really nice.
So that could be, these two can also be part of a border.
Or this would be really good even for the binding.
I could see you doing a real fence with a variety of these.
And the chickens on here actually are
I love these
upside down
chickens.
and right side up. So there is really no wrong way to put
Yes.
these. You
I
can
just
have them go
love-
any
I
way
mean,
you
they
want.
look
They're
realistic,
cute.
but they do have, I don't know, they made the print on there look like feathers.
Well, and I love how it's got a lot of background. There's even a little bit, I can't point it out. Right there. There's just a little hint of the chicken wire inside there. It's a really fun background that's just kind of soft.
This is a really fun
these are
chicken.
cute.
And this would be great for
And
the
this is
chicken.
gonna go because as soon as we put it
It's a
out, even on the
placemat.
floor when we were cutting it and cleaning it
Yes.
up, we had people snatching it out of right off our table.
Yes.
So if you are a chicken fan, if you're a kitchen, for your kitchen and your dining room, these are really gonna be super cute.
Mm-hmm.
Now we did also get. I'm gonna grab the one that I really
Lots
love.
of holidays coming up. We've got, if you looked at our Facebook yesterday, I put out a little dabble of, we have lots of Valentine, St. Patrick's Day, and Easter fabrics. Very, very cute.
And we actually have a couple of Valentine kits that are still available that you can put together really, really fast. So I know Valentine's Day is next Friday, but you still have the whole month of February to show it off. So, you do have
Yes.
plenty of time to
To me,
have it out.
February is all about hearts.
Yeah, it's all about the hearts.
All month long.
So we have,
And speaking of another holiday.
here's another one.
Another one, yes.
Well, and a lot of times
you gotta
this is.
think months ahead of time.
You do
sometimes
for
when
all of
you're-
our crafters and quilters. I mean, some of this stuff you got to have it in plenty of time to be able to get it together. This is part of our patriotic fabrics.
Shoot, I had
What?
I had a quiz for them.
Uh-oh. Well, we've got time. Maybe you'll remember as we get talking. Or do you know you're just not ready to say it yet?
No, I can't remember the words. I'm going to reach out to you. Next year is the 250th year of our country's birthday.
Yes,
right?
yes.
Next year. So there is a word. Jared, can you look it up for me, or someone can tell Jared what it is? There's two of them, and they mean 250 years.
Oh, okay.
Something centennial, something. Something. Jared's
Something
gonna-
that's going to be a tongue
Jared's
twister that
gonna-
I'm not going to be able to say.
Jared's going to rescue me here. So anyway, it's not.
Want me to say it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Can they hear you?
They can hear me now.
Sesquicentennial.
Bisesquicentennial,
There you go.
Yeah, I'm not going to
Wow.
say that. 250 years.
sestercentennial, quartermillennial, and that's just dumb. The big 250.
Oh, yeah, that's.
Yeah.
That's probably going to be me. That'll be my hashtag.
So I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I'm
learn
not
that
sure-
word So you can sound really smart to
Yeah.
people.
The sesquin-20.
I have never heard the word, the prefix sester though. So that's sestercentennial. SESTER. Sestercentennial. Because obviously, yeah, that's interesting.
Let's start getting ready for the big 250.
Oh, and I have some big plans.
Yes.
I have some
Okay.
big plans. So
right.
speaking of, the whole thing that our country's turning 250 next year, we have the red, white, and blue. It's so cute. This one is a little bit different than what they've had in the past. They have this beautiful black background with the red, white, and this one has a little bit more green. Doesn't necessarily have so much white. The little swirls right here are more creamy, but it's really pretty. And then with that, because of the black,
Yeah, to add in with the black.
this one is my favorite. And I love red, white, and blue. I definitely am a patriotic fabric person. Literally, as soon as Mother's Day is over with, my patriotic stuff is up
the
until
whole summer.
October. Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
I have it all set up, so I don't take it
So-
down until Halloween.
So this part, again, what Elaine showed you is the black background theme. And these also go with those too. It has the stars with the black background and then the flag with the background. However, it does come with the traditional red, white, and blue that we're going to show you right here.
Yes, and it's beautiful. It's really, really pretty. we brought this over to Carson yesterday, and boy, let me tell you, a couple of those ladies lost their minds.
Yeah.
They just loved it. So here is the blue background of that same black, and then Linda's going to show you the white background.
Oh, I am. Okay.
Yeah.
There you go.
I'm sorry, I know I kind of just gave you put you on the spot
This
on
is
that
the white
one.
background of the red, white, and blue.
And then we do have
Lots of blenders. To
lots
go
of
with
blenders.
it.
Now the flag,
Yeah.
you've got that one.
Here's your stars,
So
your
there's
blue
your stars.
background with your white stars, always very popular.
And they actually have 3 different background, 3 different flags with different backgrounds. There's the black, which the black I think is really pretty. I know it's not typical
It isn't, but
when it comes, but
it's unique. Yes.
It's really working with this collection. And of course, very traditional white back. It's a little more off-white background with the flags, and then of course, definitely that beautiful blue. I mean, these are really, really pretty.
Yes.
I love these.
They're true colors. Mm-hmm. And here is your red with your white stars.
And then did you show the black one?
Yes, I showed the black
Okay.
one with all the black.
Now there, of course, got some blenders, so you can break it up a little bit from having so many flags. And so here's a couple little blenders. I thought this one was really pretty. Definitely the red, and then of course some floral. Oops, showing the wrong side. With the florals.
And if you end up making a true flag, well, they have the creamy white.
These are really pretty.
And with it came a red. And
Yes.
I'm a red gal, but so many reds have a pink in them, or
Yeah, that one
orange.
definitely is a
This is
blue-based red, so it's
this
very
one's a
deep.
very nice red. Very, very.
Perfect for the binding. I mean, literally anything. If you want to just have something inside there to kind of complement everything, it works beautiful with the collection.
Oops, sorry.
No,
Getting
no, you're
mixed
good.
up here.
So then we have, the last
Speaking
one.
of red,
I know. For this side, my side of the table.
oh, I didn't get
Now, did I have it right when I called these geraniums? I did, because it does have the name right there.
geraniums.
Couldn't remember yesterday when we were putting this together what these flowers were called, and then all of a sudden I kind of just popped off with the word geranium, and sure enough, it was the right one. But these are really pretty. It does have dragonflies running through there, and I know we have a lot of dragonfly lovers out there, and this is just really pretty. The gold on it is gorgeous.
Let's show the other
Yeah.
florals.
Oops,
here.
excuse me. And then this one, definitely, this one's got all of lots of green, the leaves of the geranium.
The small geranium clusters. Mm-hmm. Oh, we'll be going to the nursery soon to get our flowers.
Oh, my
This
favorite
is a
place
larger
where I get in
print
so much
cluster.
trouble. I come home with so much stuff in the back of my husband's truck. He's like, where am I
Oh,
going to
man,
put all this?
it
It's
is.
like, just start digging
It
holes.
can be a dangerous place, those nurseries.
Pretty much.
And I think I have this right side up. Do I? You want to hold this other side?
Nope, you have it upside down.
I have it upside down. There we go.
Perfect. And even
And
this would be
this-
adorable for
this would be-
placemats and tablecloths.
And an apron, yes, yes. Very cute. It has, again, the dragonfly on there, big giant red one and a smaller black one, and the leaves, and lots of sweet little sayings too.
Yeah, and we know we have the love of words in some of our quilts and some of our projects, so it's really pretty. This would be a great shopping bag too.
Oh yeah, yes.
The bags for when you go
Farmer's
shopping,
market.
the farmer's market. Yeah, that would
Yeah,
be.
grocery store.
People would stop you. The geraniums are so
yeah.
beautiful. I know it may not be showing up as well on our camera, but I will tell you, it is a beautiful red. The green is vivid. You really would get stopped if you're shopping at a
I
farmer's
get
market.
anytime I
Yeah.
take one of our bags to farmers market. People, where'd you get that? It's like,
I made it.
yeah. Sierra Sewing.
Exactly, exactly. So speaking of bags, we have some wonderful Lori Holt bags. They are panels. You want to show that sample? And
Yes, this is one.
so this is the panel. Now here's the beauty of this particular panel. It has you can make 2 bags, and then so just an FYI.
And this one does have a yarn theme to it.
Yes.
I know many of the quilters are also yarn and knitting and crocheting enthusiasts.
So this is
Perfect
the.
Blues, it is the line.
It is lined. So
Yes.
here's like the large bag right there. And then on the opposite side of this panel, and I'm sorry, I did not cut it off because it was just so big. There is the smaller bags, and you can see what you get to use for your lining. Now, some customers have bought these, and they bought more Lori Holt fabric and made more bags.
More bags,
So they
yes.
used her regular quilting cotton for the liner. So you actually can make more than just 2 off this panel if you want to line them with something that's of her fabric or, whatever you choose.
And we do have her yarn available. Is it available online also?
Yes.
What category is it under, Carrie?
It's under threads. Well, if you search chunky yarn.
Chunky
Just
yarn.
search chunky yarn and you'll be able to find that.
So with that particular, let me show these zippers, because these
Okay.
zippers are sold separately. The panel that we were just showing you, you need for the zippers, definitely the blue one, because that's the size that it takes for that large one. And then you can choose either a gray or red. And if you choose to make more bags, then you just buy more appropriate zippers. So these are these specific sizes go to that panel that we showed you the sample of. So it's really easy. It is a double opening zipper. I know some people love them, some people hate them, but these are great for those bags. And then she has another panel.
Well, I don't know if people hate them, but they intimidated sometimes a little bit by
And-
them, and they're not to be feared.
Zippers are so easy to put in. It's not nearly as complicated as it looks. I did one for the first time last year and went, okay, what have I been complaining about?
Exactly.
I put it right in, no problem.
All right, this is a big
This is a
old-
big one.
Yeah.
It's huge. We have not,
Does this one have the picture on the front?
you know what?
doesn't.
We just got
They
this.
are
I haven't
zippy
fiddled with
bags.
this one
yes,
yet.
These are zippy bags with the tags that go with them. And we have
the package of zippers.
zippers
So
that
1, 2,
match
3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
perfectly.
8.
I mean, you could mix and match them however you want with those
Oh,
zippers.
absolutely. So this panel makes 8 bags. You might want to turn it around just, let's
Oops,
skip a
sorry.
little. No, you're fine.
This way?
Because this is where it shows the tabs.
Oh, yes.
More there. And what's nice about these panels, the instructions are actually on the panel. So you don't have to try and figure out what to do.
We'll have to get one of these made up. We just came in and unwrapped it this
I
morning.
know. It was cute. It's really, really cute.
These ones are not lined? Okay.
Oh, even easier. But you can if you
Okay.
want to. If you're a liner person, you can line them.
Yes.
Most
yes.
definitely.
All right.
Well, we do have one. We have a couple left. So same concept. It is a panel, but what we've done is we went ahead and put the bag of zippers that go with it. So these were. I meant to ask Sue to bring back in her sample, and so I
But this
will
one has a
send
sewing
picture.
theme to
But
it.
this is a sewing theme. So
can see
this
the
is her happiness
tomatoes
is
on it.
bobbin. This one makes 8 bags also. And unfortunately, I do have it all sealed up, but we can find a picture to show you. So this one's $40.99, then you get 15% off. And we only have a couple left of these. This one is almost gone in regards
has a
to the
sewing
bag
thing to
set.
it.
Yeah.
And brand new from Lori Holt is, we all know about a lot of her seed packets.
Yes, they're so cute.
She has some seed packets, and they are all flowers in a little pot. We have the 4
And
of
those
them.
are huge.
Yes.
What size are the blocks, Linda? It says on there. It's on the back side here.
26 by something.
24 by 30.
24 by 30,
Yeah,
yes.
these are huge. So you can, if you do all 4, you will have a really good size lap or tabletop, or depending on, really what you want to do. Or make more. If you don't just do 4, if you do, 6, 8, 12, however way you want to do it.
So for all you Lori Holt lovers out there, we have these, and we have the fabrics
We
to
do
go
have her
with them.
prairie fabrics, yes.
Yes, and the one thing that I like, these are her new ones called Pieces and Bits and Pieces? Peace and Plenty. But these go with the patterns that we just showed you. And the one thing about Lori Holt too, I feel like any of their past fabric lines, you can also use those.
Yes, you
because
can.
Everything just mixes and matches
I
so
agree.
well.
And that's actually kind of nice, because then you're not being able to have only one collection. I
And we
love
do have her
the
past
old
one.
words. Love, love, love the old words. This one is great
That
for a
would be
background.
and a backing also.
And then here is the one flower this was one of my favorites because I kind of do love pink and teal.
Yeah. So I showed you a purple, and we have a couple of teals, and then we also have some greens and grays and yellow that go all with these patterns that we just showed you, the seed packets. And just the last couple things.
Did you show one of the grays at all?
I did not show one of the grays because she does use
She uses
a bit of gray in here for
These ones her grays are beautiful.
they're all used for her baskets.
Yes.
The pots.
But I know a lot of
those.
people just have trouble finding grays, and these grays are really, really pretty.
Yeah.
Because sometimes they can be a little green, and these are definitely not a green gray.
So the last couple of things that we have are again from Lori Holt. Both of these are quilting pins. This one, I don't know if you can tell, the shape of the whole container is a bee. And the pins have bees on them, and then some, this is the one they call it a diamond head also on it. And if you could see, these are meant for quilting pins, so they are longer and thinner than some of your other pins. The sewing pins that she has, these are cute little flowers on there. On the tips, some of the tips have flowers on them, and some of the tips have just a ball head on them. And they're a little bit shorter. Let's see, the sewing ones are 1.5 inches. The quilting pins are 2.17 inches.
And then we did bring in some of her pre-made bags that have the vinyl on the outside and the
Yes,
fabric
these
on the inside,
bags
the little
are
zipper
so
bag. We
cute.
sold out of these the last time we had them, so we got in the new ones. They are
People in our
really
classes
pretty.
bought them all before we could even
I know. I
get
brought them into the classroom,
online.
and everybody snatched them. I couldn't
Yes.
we never even
But
had
it
them.
has like little quilt blocks on it.
Yes. So it's really pretty. It is a really high quality vinyl. They're great. They are a simple zipper. And what I love is, we carry the zipper pulls. So you've got the spot to put your favorite zipper pull on for, whether it be a season or you just,
For
which
little
one zipper you love.
decorations.
Absolutely.
Something to make you feel special.
And these are great. I mean, you can put in, your whatever you want, honestly, however way you want to put it. These are great to travel with for your classes too, or
So-
retreats.
That's everything, right? We're going to
That's
go
for what
over
we
to
have.
Jared now. And
Yeah.
so just remember, everything that we did show today is 15% off between now and 9 o'clock tomorrow morning, no matter when you watch. All right. And let's head over to Jared now.
So I will see you all next week.
Okay.
Take it away, Jared.
Good morning, everybody. How are we doing today? So you're going to be, no offense, you're going to be kind of useless for me today.
Oh, but I have a special announcement at the end.
Oh, all right. Sounds good. You don't want to do it now? You'd rather do it at the end?
I'll do it at the end.
Okay. Sounds good. So I've got two things that I want to go over. One, we got some new stuff coming out to cabinets, which are going to make them a heck of a lot better and make them really cool coming down the line. And then I want to talk about needles, because it is very surprising to me how many people know very little about needles.
And how many people think a universal needle is to be used for everything?
Yeah, well, I mean, that's generally the term behind it, but
Yes.
you got to know why, too, and why it might not work.
And why it frequently won't work with
Yes.
different things.
Absolutely. So,
Work, but not well.
yes,
There's
exactly.
better
But we'll dive into that one. So the first things first, I want to announce that Arrow and Kangaroo have come out with some pretty cool new lifts in their line of cabinets. So right here you'll see, and I'm going to talk about a couple more. They have come out with a couple different. Not come out, but they have changed the lift inside of their sewing cabinets to, instead of having one singular post in the back of it, that is an electric lift to go up and down. So it's literally just one post in the back of the cabinet that rides up and down. That caused some issues in the past, because if you had a really heavy machine, like a top-of-the-line machine or something like that, it would have the possibility of that platform to kind of tilt a little bit forward, just because there wasn't enough support from that post right here. Forget this, we'll go right here. So here's the back of the cabinet, and then you put your machine on there and it would kind of tilt down just a little bit, just because of the weight of the machine and how big these top of the lines are now. Yeah, exactly. So what they have done, and it's kind of hard to see in this picture, but you kind of can, over on the sides, like let's take a look at any of them. What they have changed is that now these electric lifts are on the sides of the cabinet. So now you have a center mounted platform that is, so the lift itself is mounted on the center of the platform. So now when you put your machine on there, you're not going to have any tilt in any direction of that machine. So they still hold the same amount of weight. It's still a very similar setup, kind of same motor and everything of the sort, but because of the change in that lift and how they make it, it's going to make it a lot more sturdy for these machines. Now, what they've already come out with, of course, is their Sydney, the Sydney Lite, and the Mod cabinet right here. So those are already some cabinets that they have out in the line. The Sydney is their biggest cabinet that they have. The Mod is a very small, not very small, but smaller cabinet that can still fit a very large opening, so a top-of-the-line machine. And then what is coming down the line is that they are going to bring this into a couple other cabinets called, like their Kangaroo and Joey, their Aussie, the Wallaby, I think. Yes, Wallaby are all going to get that electric lift in there too, which is going to be really nice because I know you've had those phone calls before where they get those cabinets. They get those cabinets home and they're like, oh, well, the lift is broken. No, it's not. Just push on it because it's a hydraulic lift and it takes some weight on it to get it to lift. And some people are scared.
Them that before.
Yeah, but when they get home and they get their machine on it, they're scared to.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's like we always have to tell them, you're not going to hurt your machine. Just put some oomph on it and it will release that hydraulic lift. So now it's going to be really nice because we'll have that electric lift option. Of course, there's going to be a little bit more of a price tag because it's an electric lift versus a hydraulic, but it's going to be a lot easier to use in terms of just a plain lift. So look out for those coming down the line. We're excited for those to come in because they'll make lives a lot better with that stuff coming out. So
everyone loves their cabinets.
yes, they are very nice and they're very ergonomical for sewing, believe you me. All right, so next up is I want to talk about needles. Okay, so now I am going to screen share, so I'm pretty much going to disappear for a lot of the rest of this. So I'm just going to draw the best that I can on my computer here so we can see what is going on. There's that notification again. All right, so let's go to needles right here. Okay, so this is the general makeup of, not the general makeup, this is the makeup of a home sewing machine needle. Okay, so it was obviously blown up here, and you guys can see my cursor right here in the middle of the screen, but I can I'll draw in red right here, as you can see when, what is that?
Out.
Yeah, when I'm pointing something, so I need to remember Command Z to delete that. Okay, so your needle, as you guys know, you have a flat side and a round side of a needle, and that flat side, when you put it in your machine, for most modern home sewing machines, featherweights are a little different, some other machines out there are different too, but most modern home sewing machines, you put this flat of the needle to the back of your machine.
I can guarantee you, if you put that flat to the front, it's not going to work.
Well, it just won't fit in.
It won't.
It won't
well,
fit
I've
in.
seen them in there before and backwards, and it won't sew right. And
Yeah.
You'll blame the sewing machine.
Yeah.
But go ahead.
All right, so then beyond that, you have a couple other things on your needle. So you have to realize this picture right here is a side profile of the needle. So you're looking at the needle from 90 degrees rotated. You're looking at it from the side, okay? This picture right here, you are looking at it from the front of the needle. So like you're looking at your project on the sewing machine, you're looking at the front of the needle, okay? So on the needles, you have a couple things. On the front side, the rounded side of that needle, you have this really long groove right here in the front of your needle that goes basically from all the way up here at the shank, all the way down to almost the point of your needle right here. Okay, so that is pretty much the makeup. Now, of course, you have the eye of your needle where your thread goes through, but that is the important piece on the front of your needle. Then on the back side, so remember this is a side profile, so it can show you this cutout of this scarf right here. So on the back side of your needle, the exact opposite side of this groove, is we have what we call the scarf. Okay, now on this side profile, it shows it really easily as this indent that goes in there. Okay, now what happens every single time you take a stitch is your needle is going down, and I'm gonna draw my fabric right here, is going down through your fabric, and what's happening is your thread is nestling inside of this front groove. Okay, so that's the whole purpose of that front groove, is to give your thread clearance for when your needle punches through your fabric. It creates that hole in your fabric, and then as it punches through, your thread nestles in there so it doesn't get caught and snagged on your fabric, right? So as it goes through, it's going to get nestled in there, and then as your needle comes to the bottom of its location right here, so this is your fabric level. Okay, needle is inside of your project, right? So your thread right now is looking something along the lines of coming down here, and then it's coming down here, and then it goes through the eye and then down like that. Okay, so that's how your needle looks when it's at the bottom of its needle stroke, at the very bottom. Okay, so your thread is coming straight down. Okay, then as we continue to pull up through the fabric, so now as the needle comes back up, let's say our fabric is right here, our thread's path starts looking a little bit like that. Okay, and in the meantime, what we have going on is, I'm sure you guys see that piece in your machine that's spinning around at 1,000 miles an hour where you put your bobbin in. So that little piece is called your bobbin basket. Okay, so on your bobbin basket is what we call a hook. Now let's actually see if I can. Sewing machine bobbin basket. Let's see. Okay, so these are very great pictures. That's all right, but still not amazing. So yeah, I guess this kind of works in a way. So what we have going on here is we have this hook, and this is an oscillating hook machine, but it'll still do what we need. So right on here we have what we call the hook, and this is that really sharp sharp point that you have down inside of your sewing machine that, I don't know, maybe you've gotten your finger caught on once or twice, but I think you guys all know what that hook is inside of your sewing machine. So what's going on, whoops, that's not what I wanted. I wanted to go back to this guy. So what is going on is that hook is coming around and it's going to nestle right inside of this scarf. And that is the whole point of this scarf, because that hook is so close that we almost, in certain needle positions, it is almost hitting that needle. Some brand manufacturers tell us to actually you want it to smooch it just a little bit, and some you want it so micrometerly close that it's not even funny. But that is the point of this cutout, the scarf, is so if this was a flat back, that hook would actually be hitting your needle. And that kind of goes back to what Linda was saying, where if you put it in backwards, you see how we don't have a cutout on the front, your hook would be hitting your needle and you're just not going to be having a good time. So in the meantime, your hook is almost getting to the point of this needle here, right? Okay, so then as we come back up, let's say our needle is coming back up further and we're right here. So we're right above this scarf. Now our thread path, let me get rid of some of this stuff. There we go. So now our thread fabric is right there. So now our thread path is looking something like this. So then it's going to come through, and then now it's creating a loop, and it's going back up there. So now, why did that get so thin?
I think they get it.
Yeah, I think you can kind of see it. Yeah.
Up through the fabric
So the thread is being pulled back up through the fabric, but what is important is this portion right here. Oh, now we're thick again. This loop. This is what we call your loop lift, because now it's getting pulled back up, and this thread right here is flat against your needle, so it's creating this loop in your thread. So now your hook is coming along and it's hitting right here, and of course this is a little bit of an exaggerated loop, but you get the picture. It's coming through and it's catching in between the needle and your thread right here. So that hook, the tip of that hook is catching that, and then it's continuing on in this rotation, its circle right here, tying its knot around the bobbin thread. So that is how your stitch is made, and then we can dive into why it's so important to have the correct needle for what you are doing, okay? Not only needle type, but needle size. So needle type is going to mainly defer to the fabric that you are working on. So what do you want to talk about first, size or type?
Type.
Types.
Those are there.
Okay. So, types. As you see here, we have some different needle types, and the difference between them is not the rest of the needle. All it pretty much is the shaft, the point, and the eye of the needle, which causes anything different, right? Now, let's talk about, well, forget about universal right now. So, jersey and ballpoint, and then also stretch. They're a very similar needle. You see stretch has a little bit more sharpness to it, but jersey and ballpoint is definitely a rounded tip needle, right? So, it's definitely a rounded tip needle. And now, why is that important?
Well, when you go down, you want your threads, I guess, to separate rather than be pierced.
Correct. So on a woven, right? No, knit fabrics like your socks. So you know how when your socks, if you pull that thread on there,
clothing,
knit clothing, you pull that thread, it's going to start unraveling your entire piece of fabric, right? So that's where we have that ballpoint in there, because it's going to go through and it's not going to actually break that strand of fabric. It's going to just move it to the side.
Or minky fabrics.
It's just going to move it to the side and continue its stitch. Whereas when we come down here to like a Microtex, a sharp, you see how sharp that needle is.
You want that for your quilts.
Yes, this is what you want for your quilts. Because it's going to come through and it's actually going to break that fabric, break that thread, and create the stitch that way. So this is what you're going to want to use on weaves, okay? So now this is where you have a universal come in, okay? So now universal, it ain't very sharp and it ain't very round. So you tell me how that is going to work on every single project that you do.
Yeah.
Now
again, we said it'll work.
It'll work.
That is not the best choice.
But you're not going to have the best results. Yes. So what will happen, and sometimes you'll see this on fabric, if you're sewing on fabric and you're sewing a straight line and all of a sudden you see a couple stitches that are kind of flipped out to the side, something like that. Sometimes a lot of that can be due to your wrong needle choice. So that's where it's so important to match up the correct needle that you are using to your project. Yeah. And then of course over here in jeans and denim, you see how thick that guy is versus the Microtex, just because obviously jeans and denim are heavier thread or fabric. Self-threading, don't ever use them. That's just, you're asking for issues.
Yeah.
Not in a sewing machine. You can ask somebody else about self-threading needles for hand sewing, but in a sewing machine, don't use them.
And then leather.
Yeah, and then leather's a little bit different. I don't know why they showed you a side profile on this one. It's kind of weird, but it's similar to a jeans denim, but instead of it being a rounded point like a javelin per se, where the whole point comes to a cone, it's kind of more like a spade. So they took and basically just ground down the two sides of it to create a point instead of
More
a
dimensional?
cone. It's more of a triangle cone,
yeah.
like a two-dimensional triangular point instead of a three-dimensional cone.
Right.
So that's kind of the difference in the leather. And of course, leather is going to be thicker as well too. So the next thing about needle size is you have to understand, now needle sizes, people I think generally kind of know there's 7511, 8012, 9014,
And that's
116s.
American,
Well, we won't even go into that one. So as you go up the line in needles, 7511 is going to be your smallest, and 116 is going to be biggest, right? So the bigger the number, the bigger the needle, the smaller the number, the smaller the needle, okay? But what you have to also understand...
In diameter.
Correct. But it's by type of needle. So like a Jeans 9014 and a Microtex 9014 are not going to be the same strength or same diameter of needle.
Right.
Okay? So a Jeans needle is always going to be thicker, right? So think of this like as if every single one of these were a 9016. You see the size difference here between a Microtex and a Jeans. So you got to remember that it's not going to be the same stuff. So when our general rule of thumb is you want something sharp for piecing, so we always recommend Microtex for piecing. Obviously, Jeans.
Yeah, and the narrowness of that will also help you with your 1/4 inch seams.
Yes, it will.
Yes.
So
Accuracy.
Microtex 7511, it's a
If you
pretty
use
fine needle.
And you can even see the difference between the Microtex and the Universal. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a difference.
Correct. So it's a drastic difference in there.
But if you use your Microtex on jeans, guarantee they're going to break.
Yeah. Yes, and there's multitudes of reasons to that, because if we go back to what we were saying here, this clearance that we have where this hook is coming around and basically smooching the tip of this scarf right here, if I'm using a Microtex needle when I'm doing the cuffs of my jeans and I'm getting to that seam where I've got, 8 layers of denim? Something like that. Super thick. That Microtex needle could deflect. So now instead of my needle being nice and straight like that, it could deflect as I go through the fabric and just kind of look like that just a little bit. So now my scarf is going to come, my hook is going to come around and it's going to miss this loop because my needle is now bent out just a smidgen. And it's not enough to actually break your needle or bend your needle. It'll go back, but it's just enough where it's going to miss that loop lift right there. So what does that result
You're
in?
going to get skip stitches.
Skip stitches, yeah.
And you'll blame the machine.
And you'll blame the machine, yes. But in reality, yes, there's absolutely times when the machine needs love, and that's one of the many reasons why you need to bring your machine in yearly to get it serviced, because we adjust this distance all the time.
Yes.
Almost every single general service we do, this distance gets adjusted because it's moved, and it's normally gotten farther out. And so a lot of the times though too, especially like we'll have it when people come in right after a service and they're like, well, I was sewing on this and it's skipping stitches, and they pull out their sample and you're like, well, what in the world is that? Like, what are you sewing on? And so a lot of the times it's like they should have been using a jeans needle, but instead they were using like a universal something. So what basically was what was happening is you would get this deflected needle and the machine was perfect. You switch the needle to the right needle, you switch it to a jeans denim needle, and all of a sudden, instead of this deflection, you're getting that nice straight line, and the machine worked great. So that's why it's so important to make sure you are using the correct needle for what you are doing. Let me get this back. There we go. So that's why it's so important to use that correct needle for the project that you are working on, because it has such a drastic effect of the outcome of what's going to happen on your project. So rule of thumb: Microtex for piecing, embroidery for embroidery, quilting for free motion quilting. Now, quilting and piecing are different, okay? Remember that. So piecing, you want to use Microtex. Quilting, you want to use quilting. And then if you just want like a generic kind of mending, do everything needle that is not woven stuff, we recommend Top Stitch, because Top Stitch is just a really good, it's a little bit thicker than what you get in a Microtex needle, so it's just a little bit stronger, but the eye of the needle is a little bit bigger as well too, so it lets that thread pass through a little bit more. It just gives you a little bit better result overall. So, and of course, ball pointer stretch for weaves and stretch fabric. So, yeah, make sure you use the right needles. We're happy we've got tons of them, and we are happy to steer you to the correct one if you just tell us what you are working on.
There's so much involved in the sewing machine that it's unbelievable that they got invented and even more.
Absolutely.
Lifespan of a needle?
Oh yeah, and lifespan of a needle, that's true. So lifespan of a needle. The easiest way that I can put this is a needle is the cheapest thing on your sewing machine to change out to get a good result. You have no idea how many times people will come in and
thread,
and thread. They'll come in and they'll be having an issue, and the very first thing I will do is change the needle. And they're like, well, I just put that needle in last week. Well, that's an issue. You should change that.
Depends on how much sewing you've been doing between,
So, so the general,
if you hear popping when you're
like
sewing,
a plucking, get rid of it.
That's a dull needle,
So the general, what they say is that a needle lasts for 8 hours of sewing, but I challenge that it lasts way less than that. Because, for example, on our long arms that we use back here, we change needle per quilt, basically. So they go a lot faster than what you think. We change needles a lot, and that's the easiest, cheapest thing to change to get a good result for.
Yeah, into your project, don't.
Yes.
Don't go cheap.
Yes, do not go cheap. So just it'll make a better result in general. So what was your thing that you had to?
Oh, my thing, I get on my soapbox every February. February is National Heart Disease Month, and I do that because it's near and dear to me and my family. It's something that runs in my family, and I don't think a lot of people understand that more women die of heart disease in the United States than they do for all the cancers combined. So it's big out there, and I'm just here to tell you, take care of your heart. Your heart loves you. Love your heart. Do whatever you can to make it stronger. And this Friday, the first Friday of every February, is Wear Red Day, just to recognize heart disease. So if you're a person who likes to recognize things, wear red this Friday and let everybody know.
There you go.
That's my soapbox. If I can help one person do a little bit better in their life, I succeeded.
All right, guys. Well, thank you guys very much. And if you have any questions at all on anything we chatted about today, give us a caller at the phone numbers below.
And
we're
remember,
happy to help you out.
everything Elaine and I showed today is 15% off from now until 9 o'clock tomorrow morning.
Absolutely. Thank you, guys. And we will see you all next week. See ya.